Bowel cancer is the cancer found anywhere in the large bowel, which includes the colon and rectum. It's one of the most common types of cancer in the UK. Bowel cancer, also known as colorectal cancer, develops from the inner lining of the bowel and is usually preceded by growths called polyps, which may become invasive cancer if undetected. Depending on where the cancer begins, bowel cancer may be called colon or rectal cancer. Something in the environment or our lifestyles seems to be causing the rise in early-onset bowel cancer. Now, a study has the go-ahead to find the culprit. One of the most concerning trends in cancer is the rising incidence of several types of tumor in people under 50, something that is especially marked for bowel cancer. Now, a £20 million, 5-year research project that aims to discover the cause of rising bowel cancer cases has got the go-ahead. It will use stored samples of blood, urine and feces from millions of people from about 15 biobanks in Europe, North America and India. The goal is to understand whether the rise is connected to changes in food, drink, medicines, air pollutants or other environmental chemicals by measuring everything people are exposed to known as their exposome. The exposome is all elements of our external world that have impacts on our health. The number of people under 50 diagnosed with bowel cancer has been going up for 3 decades. In the UK, for instance, there has been about a 50% rise in these tumors in people aged 25 to 49 over this period, with similar trends in the US, Canada, Australia, and several European countries. As about 9 in 10 tumors happen in older people, the rise in the under 50 hasn't yet had much impact on the total number of cancer deaths, but the trend is concerning doctors, especially because tumors in younger people can be more aggressive and tend to be diagnosed at a later stage. There has been much speculation about the cause, with key suspects being various aspects of the modern diet, such as our rising consumption of processed food or red meat, or a lack of fiber along with antibiotic use or pollutant exposure. In the new research project, researchers will investigate further by trying to identify and measure all the chemicals in medical samples from previous studies. They will use mass spectrometry to identify chemical signatures of novel compounds that have entered the body or disturbed levels of natural biochemicals. One of the biobanks being used is the Nurses' Health Study 3, a large US project charting the health and lifestyles of hundreds of thousands of nurses. A subset of participants donated stool samples as well as blood samples, which will also let the researchers analyze their gut bacteria. Another important cohort will be the Danish Newborn Screening Biobank, which contains a dried spot of blood from virtually all babies born in Denmark since 1982, with nearly 2 million samples. This will let researchers see if anything we are exposed to in the uterus is linked with higher bowel cancer risk. If, as hoped, correlations emerge between certain biochemicals in the blood and the risk of bowel cancer, scientists will investigate if blood tests could identify people who are more vulnerable. That could be a group of individuals can be targeted with more intensive bowel cancer screening. Scientists will also test if a targeted diet can reverse blood and gut bacterial signatures linked with bowel cancer risk. In the US, recent data shows that people born in the 1990s have a 2.4 times higher risk of colon cancer than those born in the 1950s. While most cancer cases are in people over 50, this development is an important one to address. The key is understanding why the rise in early-onset cancers is happening in the first place. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed our videos, subscribe to our channel for there's more to come.